I don't really know what else to call this. I think table read fits it the best. For those who don't know, a table read is when you get together with members of a production and read through the script together out loud to get a rough idea as to how the final product will look and sound. I've never done something like this prior, but we were working with Megan, who played Liza Lotz in this episode, and she's never been a part of my productions before. And the way I write scripts is very generic, not a ton of explanations, not a ton of context, because I'm normally the only person viewing the script, so it doesn't really matter. I know exactly like what I want out of a shot or my voice or anything like that. And the only other people who would potentially view the script are my friends, and they don't necessarily care about the context. I normally just tell them, say this line like this. So once I finished the script on September 21st, I put together this video and sent it to Megan to give her a rough idea as to what this episode was about. It was super late, and technically it was September 22nd when I sent this over, which was the same day we filmed the thing. But here is the original table read for the trial. Hello, it is 1:30 a.m. or 1:31, as some people call it, and I just got done writing this video because I wait till the last minute because we're filming it tomorrow. But this is supposed to be episode 181, I believe, of Scott the Woz, which is the show I make. And I sent you some samples of just videos that this is going to be similar to in terms of just the overall style. This is a continuation, a light continuation of the episode The Great Mysteries of Gaming, which was half skit and then half, a video game retrospective essay review type of thing. This pretty much has absolutely nothing to do with video games. This is just kind of like one of the fun one-offs that's just completely just a comedy episode. But this is a light continuation of that. Just to give some context to all of this, so there are like 6 characters or so in this one that come over from the previous episodes. So you have me, Scott, who is the main character. Then you have Terry Lessler, played by Joe, who is a vegan. He is a bit of like kind of the straight man in this episode from what I've written him. Then you have Sam, who plays a character called Jeb Jab, who is the other vegan who is kind of who is usually seen with Joe, Terry. Recently he's kind of had a running gag in a different episode from the show where he kind of like looks at anything and he thinks it's this stupid game called Gex, which is just a joke because Gex is a funny sounding word. So I just mentioned that because there's one callback to that joke in this. Then you have Dominic, who plays Wendy's employee, who is a Wendy's employee. He originally appeared in a Christmas special where it's just like, I believe I went to Target and I asked for help, and he was just wearing a Wendy's uniform, and I thought he was a Target employee. But he worked at Wendy's. He just liked hanging out at Target for some reason. Then you have Eric, who plays Rex Mose, who was the school dance chaperone in the homecoming episode, and he's a bit more like Dominic's. The Wendy's employee kind of character is a bit more chipper. He's very chipper and kind of happy-go-lucky. Rex Mose is very kind of like on edge a lot of the time. He's kind of like one of the louder ones of the bunch. And then we have Jared, who plays Officer Steelwool, who appeared in the first Christmas special in this show, and his entire thing was that he was just kind of a part of a one-off joke that was literally like my character of Scott did something like he stole a bunch of copies of a game, and Officer Steelwool, who's played by Jared, was sent to find me. And in reality, he was just going in circles the entire time. He didn't find me. He was brought back for the Halloween special, where it was a murder mystery, which is why there's a trial in this episode, because in that murder mystery, everybody except me died. Everybody got murdered, and Officer Steelwool turned out to be the killer. He didn't really have much of a reason for killing everybody. His reason was the host of the dinner party laundered money, and he thought, you know what, he deserved to die. He killed him, and he was too shy to bring up the fact that he killed him, so he just ended up killing everybody to make things simpler. I ended up defeating him, I guess, and everybody except for the host of the dinner party got treated for murder at the hospital and is fine now. But we're taking Steelwool to trial in this episode. So, without further ado, this episode starts off like a normal episode of Scott the Woz, which is kind of a monologue with me at the desk over there. So I'm just going to go through the whole thing. Hey all, Scott here. You know, I have a life outside of talking about stupid Nintendo games. I almost got murdered. Finally, I'm a victim. It's exciting when you've got nothing else going on. That's just the thing. I do have things going on. I'm a busy guy. It cuts to a shot of a calendar where every single day says don't get murdered. Which is why I'm one of the few who take attempted murder seriously. Cut to me pulling down a giant picture of Officer Steelwool. This is going to be a bit of a recap of what happened. Every murderer needs a murder, and ours just so happened to be Mr. Officer Steelwool. Lucky for me, I had this printed before he tried to murder us. A while back, we were all invited to a dinner party. No murders allowed. Somebody didn't read the itinerary. Everybody except the host recovered from being murdered, which makes us prime suspects to sue him. So, today's the big day. We're taking Steelwool to court, and I'm gonna be a star. I can see the headlines now. Murder victims innocent. Doorbell rings. It then cuts to me kind of going up to the doorbell. What's the code? This is Joe, who's playing Larry Tesler behind the door. I was murdered. Open up the door. So, are you ready to be one of the first allies in the war against murder? Oh, I don't think I can be in the same room as the man who killed me. Don't be such a baby. I was in the same room as your murderer, and he fucking stinks. Just, why did he kill me? Is it something about my face? I wouldn't take it too personally. I wouldn't take it too personally if somebody killed you. It probably has nothing to do with your looks. He probably just fucking hates you. Nothing personal. So what are we suing him for? Defamation. Good. Your social status really plummets after being murdered. Dominic plays Wendy's employee, Sam plays Jeb Jab, and Eric plays Rex Mose. They come into the door. Oh man, you keep your door open too? I do it as a hobby. Only on the weekends. How are we killed? Alright, so I wanted to touch base before we head over to the courthouse. Where is it again? Vegas. That's a 28-hour drive with normal traffic. 28 hours? I have jury duty in 28 hours. Oh, don't go throwing hours in my face. I'm the biggest hours fan there is. Why Vegas? Isn't there a courtroom nearby? Yeah, notice a drive-thru on the way here. Well, they have Vegas weddings out there, super quick, you're in, you're out. And a Vegas trial is the exact same idea. I thought it would save us some time. Oh, thank God. Turns out I'm serving jury duty. Oh, thank God. Turns out I'm serving jury duty on our trial. You're the victim, an unbiased victim. Well, I'm RT. No, I need to think about how to say this. Well, I'm RT double S. Well, I'm RT double SW. What is that? Ready to sue Steelwool. Just say the full thing. No, I'm busy today. I invited a +9. I'm ready to win over my killer. I brought some candy to throw into the audience, get them on our side. Well, I can't wait to throw this guy behind bars if he turns out to be guilty. Didn't he kill us? Allegedly. Scott gets a phone call. Hello? What do you mean you don't have a ride? Fine, alright, we got a carpool. This cuts to a shot of everybody in the car, driving silently, with Jared in the car too, so Officer Steelwool. Then it cuts to the courtroom. Everybody walks in, there's probably going to be a little thing that says 28 hours later. No, I'm just saying, if we took that exit, we could have shaved off 10 minutes. The judge comes in. Judge walks to the podium. All rise. Eric's sitting on the floor, randomly. Damn it. Gets up. Joe says, "You didn't tell me there was going to be a judge." "Yeah, I wouldn't have worn this." Sam's wearing a judge uniform. I am Judge Abstinent. I am Judge Abstinence. Welcome to Litigation Station, the brand 9 out of 10 lawyers recommend. With that, I'm going to pass this off to our judge in training. He walks off, Jeff, who's playing the judge in training, walks on. Hey, I'm judging this evening. I was only doing this because my mom made me get a summer job. It's f***ing September. Dominic has his hat off like it was a baseball game, like they were singing the national anthem. He puts it back on. Alright, well, I've got unbiased to be. He walks over to the jury area. Okay, so what's the plan here? I was planning on lying, but we could spice things up and not lie. That's perfect. I can't lie. I hate lying. That's ridiculous. Everybody's lied before. When was the last time you lied? 1 sentence ago. I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna crumble. I can't face my killer. The camera pretty much like zooms out while he's saying that to show Jared is literally like right with him. I fucking had it. They should just outlaw trauma. So where's our lawyer? It says in the court document, our lawyer is me? Yeah, I wrote that. Oh great, the fucking person is trying to be a lawyer. God, I was there throughout the entire thing. I know what happened. And plus, representing yourself in court always works out. Like when it cuts to like a black image that just says footage missing in the middle. And the exact same thing. And then it says footage really missing on the last one. I gotta hand it to you. Anyway, I gotta not hand it to you. I'm in. I mean, as long as we're not up against a real lawyer, we should be fine. And this is your lines right here. Hi, Liza Lutz, real lawyer. Eric puts his hands slowly on his knees. Damn it! This cuts to, I believe I'm kind of thinking of this as like some over-the-shoulder shots. This is between, Scott and Megan overall. Like, just kind of like, a back and forth. Okay. Hey, Scott Wozniak, recreational lawyer. Just wanted to talk lawyer to lawyer here. So, like, how real of a lawyer are you? Like, real as in professional or real as in concrete matter? You know, I could ask the same to you. A true lawyer never reveals their identity. Well, I heard you're representing yourself in this case and that you're going to lose. I wasn't planning on it, but I'm open to the idea. Listen, I've represented this guy numerous times. I know he's an insane killer. Just give him a break. So you know he's guilty? Oh, I represent murderers all the time. I love those little guys. I'm a big advocate for murder. What, are you a murderer? No, I'm not insane. Well, I studied virgin law. I'm more prepared than you and I think, and I'm not leaving this courtroom until we win. Oh, we'll see about that. This cuts to, there will be various shots of like, so it's like on the defendant's side, and like my side, pretty much. This is kind of like cuts to a new shot of like you sitting at the table, kind of standing up. Can we have court outside today? Cuts to me. Damn it, she's good. Judge says, objection, your lawyer. I have vitamin D sufficiency. Goes back to Scott. Time to break out this icebreaker again. I call steel wool to the stand. Cuts to Dominic, who is the only member of the jury. Then it cuts to, this is going to be more so like, you know, like somebody, and there's going to be a lot of shots in the video where it's going to show, you know, obviously the person on trial, and then the lawyer kind of like walking, pacing back and forth in front of them. This is going to be kind of one of those shots. So, Mr. Wool, did you kill anybody? Objection! He doesn't have to answer that! Yeah, it is a pretty personal question. I mean, I knew he killed me, but I wouldn't blame him for not answering that. Permission to persist, Your Honor? F*** it. Say it, 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 say it. Jared kind of sits there. I think I might have killed some people. Yes, I did it! Your Honor, that wasn't confirmation. If anything, that makes him less likely to be the killer. That is true. A real killer would... that is true. A real killer would remember killing. Scott looks around, starting to freak out. Oh, God. He kind of, like, freaks out, grabs that bag of candy that he said he had, just overhand throws it into the audience, hits Dominic in the face. He kind of screams. Cuts back to, like, everybody on their side of the courtroom. I just freaked out. I wanted to make sure the jury was on our side. The only member of the jury was murdered by him. I did hear he is leaning towards the defendant's side now. I'm leaning towards him too. We're f***ed. Your Honor, I call Jebediah Jab to the stand. Oh, and now they call up one of the guys that doesn't believe in us. This is f***ing great. Goes back to, like, pacing back and forth scene. So, Jab. Is there anybody else a part of the Jab family? Nope, it's just me and my vegan in crime, Terry Lessler. Cuts to Joe, like a little timid wave. Interesting. Isn't getting murdered against the vegan creed? I think it's frowned upon. Yes, you don't want to kill any animals, but you can get killed all you want. Don't you think that's a bit unfair? That is very quite bullshit, yes. He's slipping. We're losing him here. You know, I'm getting real sick of your attitude. We're in Vegas. Be happy. Do you really think it's fair to make all these allegations against this poor man? He's traumatized. You have no idea the impact murdering 5 people has on one person. Oh, God. I didn't mean to. You didn't mean to get murdered, right? Objection, Your Honor! I'm mad! I've seen madder. Keep going. I think I have one more question. Do you think Officer Steelwool murdered you and 4 others? Do I know he did? Yes. Do I think he did? No. Your Honor, I rest my case. Son of a bitch, that's what self-doubt feels like. We can't give up. If he wins this case, this goes on my permanent record. Okay. I can do this. Stand up. Your Honor, I call Rex Mose to the stand. Dominic's in the background. Woo! Pacing back and forth scene. So Rex, what do you think of Officer Steelwool? I think he's a fine person and a better murderer. So you admit he's a murderer. On the one day I was with him. Your Honor, should we really base this man's conviction off of what he did on one measly day? Seems kind of rude. Rex, I have in front of you evidence from the night of the murders. What is that? That's a gun! Interesting he knows what a gun is. I thought Officer Steelwool was the murderer here. Yeah, how would he know what that is if he wasn't the killer? Did I see gun? I meant a Beretta 92X full-size handgun. Your Honor, he's just throwing out random words. He doesn't know what they mean. He's a dictionary with feet. That's what we call him. Allow me to ask any of the others to name that specific object. Allow me to ask others to name that specific... God damn. Allow me to ask others... I can't say things. Allow me to ask others to name that specific object. So you pull up a picture of a gun. What is this? And it cuts back and forth between all these people. So this is where Sam says Gex, which is a reference to a previous recurring joke. Gex? A photo. The letter L. My gun. It may be his gun, Your Honor, but Mr. Mose was the first to identify it. I recommend a lie detector for the rest of his time here. Can we just hook that up to Steelwool? He's allergic to the law. We can't risk him confessing. Then cuts to Eric, Rex Mose, hooked up to supposedly a lie detector, but it ends up being a heart rate monitor. Okay, Rex, did you kill... Heart rate monitor starts going off. Your Honor, that says it all right there. This is a heart rate monitor. Yet, Mr. Wool's isn't going off right now. He's not hooked up to one. Your Honor, can I win now? No. Okay. Cuts back to, like, us on our separate sides. And this is me talking to Eric. Listen, if they convict you for murder, I'll just start yelling. They can't convict you if you can't hear it. That's why the deaf don't go to jail. I f***ing had it. They should just outlaw conviction. They should outlaw you, you f***ing murderer. There's a lot of F words in this one. I call Wendy's employee to the stand. Who's gonna be the jury? Him. So Wendy's employee. Where are you employed exactly? Why, Wendy's, of course. And what do you do there? I'm the employee. An employee like you getting murdered when he has a job to go to in the morning seems a bit unlikely to me. You know, I just didn't have work the next day. Then he just runs back into the audience. I don't buy it. Cut immediately back to him on trial. Damn. So, do you really think this man could have possibly murdered a dozen people? Well, it wasn't a dozen. He didn't kill a dozen people, Your Honor. Cuts back to me on our sides. Hey, check the bathroom. They got free soap in there. Focus. We gotta reel this one in. Everybody's kind of looking at Joe, kind of like, what does that mean? Like a fish. Yeah. Yeah, I put money on this fight. He better win. And he's pointing to Jared. Scott. I call Terry Lessler to the stand. Pacing scene. Terry, longtime vegan, full-time sewer. If you can't sue a person, why talk to him? Can you point to the man in this room who killed you and your 4 other cohorts? Not even a little bit, no. You're really cock-blocking me here. I can't even look my killer in the eye. You expect me to use a finger on him? Well, what do you want out of this trial? An apology. And that isn't gonna happen unless you point him out right now. How can one finger decide a man's destiny? He's basically pointing in Eric's direction. He's pointing at Rex. He's pointing at Rex! I fucking had it. They should just outlaw me. Your Honor! God, what now? It's painfully obvious Steelwool is the killer. Just convict him already. I don't feel like it. You seem awfully confident. I suppose you wouldn't be opposed to some questions yourself. What are you saying? I call Scott Wozniak to the stand. I do an O face to the camera, which is like, oh. And it zooms in. So, Mr. Wozniak, that's me to you. You were the only one not injured in any way the night of these murders, no? Yeah, it seems awfully murdery for a non-murderer. It's weird, right? Everybody, like, looks at me like, it's just like, what? That was the worst thing I could have said there. May I ask, what was your relationship with Steelwool prior to this night? I believe he was tasked with tracking me down after I stole copies of Madden 18. Oh, so you're an ex-convict, and he tried to arrest you. Maybe you're trying to pin this all on him. Maybe you're the killer. That's impossible. He's a murderer. A murderer with a heart of gold. Oh, and I'm not a murderer with a heart of gold? You're a murderer? I was lying. As a joke. So you lied in a court of law? As a joke! And then over this next scene, which is just like the other people talking, you just kind of hear a huge like back and forth of just like improv, just like basically just blabbering or just like basically just like whatever, it's background noise anyways. Joe kind of points to Eric. Who is your +9? The justices of the Supreme Court. Me and them go way back. How do you know them? I chaperoned for them. So you were a bailiff? Oh, that's what it's called? I just thought they didn't know my name. So are they gonna show up? Let me check. Looks at his phone. Maybe. Oh wait, you know the justices too? I'm their cousin. I thought you had no family. That was to get the sympathy vote. That was to get the sympathy vote. Well, we may not be able to ignite sympathy, but we can ignite a threat with that. They pass a note, like it's like in high school or something. They pass a note to Jared. Jared opens it up, and it basically says, "Say I did it, or I will get my cousins, the justices of the Supreme Court, to kick your ass." And Jared kind of like looks up. And then it cuts back to like the big argument in the trial right now. He dresses like it's 2005. Like, come on, we're in the 21st century, for crying out loud. Dress like it. No wonder he wanted to supposedly murder you with that kind of attitude. He was ruthless. He tried to shoot me, and I'm allergic to bullets. I did it. Everybody looks at Jared. Well, that's a blow to your case. All right, Officer Steelwool, for being so brave and coming clean like that, I'll let you off easy. You are sentenced to death. Bam, bam, gavel. It says 5 minutes later. We're all basically already at a grave. He got sentenced to death, so he's dead now. We're all just hanging out, and then Dominic kind of like says, "I don't think he did it." And that's pretty much everything. There might be like that might be the ending, or it might do like another ending like monologue or something like that. But that's pretty much everything in terms of just like the overall thing.